Several years ago, a Christian student was asked by his professor to write a paper on everything that the Apostle Paul said about hellfire. The task to him seemed to be easy, for Paul had written most of the New Testament. For out of the 26 books, Paul wrote 14 of them. Paul told his listeners in Acts 20:27, "For I have not shunned to declare unto all the counsel of God. For I have not shunned to declare unto you all the counsel of God." So, in this guy's thinking, hell was a part of the counsel of God, and he could look in Paul's 7 sermons in Acts and his 14 books of the New Testament to gather his information. It would be a breeze. So, with confidence, the guy moved forward. He looked into the book of Acts and looked at Paul's 31 speeches that are recorded in Acts. He looked at his speeches in the synagogue at Antioch, to the Gentiles in the city, in the synagogue at Iconium, in Lystra, in Derbe, Perga, in Antioch, at Phoenix and Samaria, at Jerusalem again, at Antioch, through the cities at Macedonia, in the synagogue at Thessalonica, at Athens on Mars Hill, at the synagogue at Corinth, in the house next to the synagogue at Ephesus, the synagogue at Antioch again, at Ephesus, at the school of Tyrannus, at Troas, at Miletus, on the stairs before the castle, before Felix and Drusilla, before Agrippa, during the tempestuous winds on the sea, in Rome, and in his own house. To the student's amazement, he found that Paul never mentioned the subject of hell in any of these speeches that was recorded in Acts. But the guy knew that he still had the 14 books of the New Testament that Paul wrote to look into, that contained everything that we as Christians, or we as people, needed to know. As he began to go through the epistles of Paul, to his disappointment, he found that Paul's intentions to not shun from the declaring unto all men all the counsel of God. He never mentioned hell in those great spiritual counsels to all Christians about the fate of the lost. He found one place in 1 Corinthians 15:55 where he concluded a statement on the resurrection and asked, "O death, where is thy sting? O grave, where is thy victory?" However, no fire was connected with this grave, and it was never mentioned again by Paul. So if Paul says he did not shun to declare all the counsel of God, Why do people, people preach a torment in a fiery hell for eternity? I think that preaching uh, can turn the person that has no idea of what the Bible is about other than what they hear preachers mention in passing or what their friends tell them about God's going to torment people in fire for eternity, and this turns these people away from the Word of God, and they say they would not believe in a God that would do something like that. I think we need to look a little deeper and see what eternal punishment actually means. We've got a lot of correcting to do as Christians. Realize that we're responsible by teaching false gospels of turning away millions of people that might have came to Christ otherwise if they believed what we say about God being compassionate and loving instead of believing what we say about hell, whether for just not believing in a God that would punish people for eternity. You're going to be sent there and punished for eternity. I say we. I don't believe it. And I don't believe it because it's not what the scriptures tell me. But anyway, Paul never taught it. I'll never teach it.